And welcome to the Reconnecting podcast. Out here at Springhill Suites Marriott, I'm your host, Adam Lowry. Alongside me, as always,
Amy Childs, Director of Sales, Springhill Suites.
Yeah, the one that has put this podcast together, the Reconnecting podcast, if you're watching, as you can read right there above me. And a great friend to the hotel and to Amy, and a person I just got to meet, Steve Gornie. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about what we do here.
You do have that radio voice. You said you had a podcast.
I'll admit I was a college radio DJ.
Well, I knew it. I knew it when we walked in and we started talking. I'm like, this guy's been on the radio before.
I have my own show.
So you do have a podcast. So you own Paradise Beach Weddings.
That is true, yes. Paradise Beach Weddings is located in Edgewater, which is about 3 miles south of New Smyrna Beach. This is our 6th year of running the business here locally in Volusia County. We actually acquired the business. It was a part-time hustle business for a nurse, and she moved, so she put it up for sale, and we bought it. It has gone from probably her doing 10 or 15 weddings a year, and now we're doing about 125 a year. So
some part-time gig that somebody had.
No longer a side hustle.
Right.
Yeah, so how long have you been doing it?
It's our 6th season this year.
I like how you do 6 seasons because it's wedding season, right?
Yes.
I'm thinking like some Netflix series, right?
Like, it can be sometimes.
Great title.
Yeah.
The 6th season.
Right, the 6th season. I got to imagine when people hear wedding planner, right, wedding designer, or however you're doing it, that people go, oh boy. I know that's what I do, right? When I hear that Paradise Beach Weddings, yeah, I take care of people's weddings from top to bottom, all over, coordinate them, even marry them. I was like, God help you, man. Like, how do you do it?
I mean, we love it. We absolutely love it. Like, look where we live and what we're doing. I mean, I would say I'm probably in the sun too much because we are coastal, so we do a lot of beach weddings. But we also do indoor weddings, private weddings. But our name is Paradise Beach Weddings. So, of course, people around the world literally find us for a beach wedding. That's our primary, line of business. But we are full-service planners. So we do full planning, we do day of coordination, we do all vendor referrals, and thanks to Amy and some of the groups that we formed here in New Smyrna, we have tremendous groups of partners that we can comfortably refer because we've worked with them many, many times. Really high quality people here.
Yeah, Amy, you, as I came on, you told me you're in charge of like 85 groups here. You were really kind of pulling New Smyrna Beach business and events community together. I know I attended 1 or 2 of the meetings that you had down there, the networking events. Walk me through why you wanted to put together groups like that.
So one of the reasons that basically we started the wedding group was one, to spread the word about New Smyrna and put that out there. And then also we worked together really closely in building this bridal show that we created for last January. And within doing that, we wanted to build this great elite wedding group to where if someone's in front of me and I'm just here for the rooms or the rehearsal dinner, but, while I'm talking to you, I'm asking you, have you found your wedding venue yet? And have you found your wedding planner yet? And have you found your caterer yet? And when they say, no, we haven't, then we can say, oh, well, you don't even have to go anywhere else because I have you. I have everything that you need right here. I send them their vendor list, and then they're like, that takes away so much stress because you know that they're approved through us here at the Springhill Suites, and they're going to take care of you, and all you have to do is walk in.
Yeah, so I can imagine. So 85 less people they have to call is essentially if you're doing a wedding through
right.
Springhill Suites here, and I got to imagine, and you're a part of this whole network too, right?
Oh, absolutely. What's interesting on our website, there's so much involved, is my first menu item says, where do I start? That's the question, because if you're from Cleveland or LA or the UK, you have no idea. Many people have never even been here before, and they're planning their wedding here. So they have absolutely no idea where to start. So the group that Amy put together, yes, it was really originally focused on the bridal show, which I'm going to, say it was a wild success. I mean, it was an amazing, vendor-funded event. It was incredible. But it has galvanized this group together. Every single vendor is like, I can't wait till the next one, So
when was that one?
It was January
5th, and we are in process of starting to plan the one again for January 2021.
Right.
Yes.
So our group, my group is her group is my group. It's literally the same cast of characters, and we're trying to support the New Smyrna businesses. Some vendor categories we don't by the way, there's opportunities, folks. We don't have people in our town yet for certain categories, so we reached up to Daytona or DeLand or wherever we had to make sure we had vendors here for the show. But I think, a lot of those slots will continue to be filled here in New Smyrna as people see those opportunities here.
Yeah, it's rare, really. Like, I'm born and raised Orlando, right, in a big city, to watch almost competing type businesses work together to try to grow and help each other. I've noticed that is the exact opposite in New Smyrna Beach.
Right. So that's one of the things with coming in that I really wanted to do was make sure that, as a community, we were all working together and helping each other to keep it local. There's no reason to go out, far away and have a wedding planner when we have one here, or there's no way, reason to go out and buy a cake somewhere else and have it, toted 2 or 3 hours when we have someone that'll do it here for you. And then at the same time, not only that, but when you're on the phone with us, we know this works. These people have had events with us. We have worked with them. And you have kind of a guarantee. You don't get
that trial run, that oops.
Right. Oops, they messed up my
cake.
Call
this person. Let's see how they do a wedding.
Right.
Okay.
Just working in a facility matters. Like if you're a caterer, well, how do I cater in this banquet room? Or if I'm a DJ, where's the best place for me to set up? So the experience that these folks already have, instead of look, we see a lot of vendors out of Orlando. There's many fabulous vendors, but most of them don't have any experience in these venues over here. And maybe that one time they got hired, So, in the same thing goes when I love what you said about the collaboration, even of competing vendors. For instance, we have X amount of venues. Okay, before Springhill Suites was here, this place really filled a void, big time. But I'm also partners with Outriggers. I'm partners with the city, with Brandon Center and the Live Oak, because each one has its niche of where it serves the customer the best. And so if you're looking for an all-inclusive wedding, I'm kind of segueing in, this is the place. If you want to stay here, you want to get married here, you want to have your reception here, your foot traffic out onto Flagler Avenue, which is one of the best streets in the world, there is no other option. This is it. And so that's the great thing. If somebody needs a bigger venue for 200-300 people, we have that for you. If you need 150 people, we can't put them in the banquet room here, but we have that for you. So why not everyone work together? It's not like there's 7 hotels on the beach here with the same exact blueprint. We don't have that.
Right. And we are all, friends in this group and work together to know, okay, when you're with a guest and a customer and you're talking to them and that, okay, this is not going to work here. And rather than having them upset with you and selling them a product that's not what they want, that's not going to end well anyway, you can make them happy by saying, hey, this here is probably not what's perfect for you, but I do have somebody that I work with that this will be perfect for, and they can do the same thing that I can do for you, but what you actually need. And you sign that up. And then therefore that person in turn says, well, okay, you know what? Somebody needs a room and my family's coming down. And so, but Amy did us so well, in referring us to here instead of keeping us somewhere that wouldn't work, we're going to call her for rooms. So either way it goes, we all win in that scenario as long as we keep them here in New Smyrna.
Yeah, because I think we're going to have Shauna on the show.
Mm-hmm.
She's from the city, right? Of New Smyrna. And that's the larger event venue not far that you work very closely with. I'm sure you've certainly worked there as well.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to get something booked in there Wednesday, get notification by Wednesday that we can do it. So yes, I've worked there many, many times.
Now, and you refer down there for what reason?
So for the Brandon Center, it would be if they have anybody over. Basically here, the perfect wedding is a 65, 70 person wedding. So anything over that does have to go to a different venue, but I can house the rooms here to where Shauna at the Brandon Center gets the wedding. So what we have built, Steve and I have built, is like this perfect walk-in, no stress, wedding to where he's the planner. He can set up, and I'll let him tell a little bit more about what he can do. But you basically just have to get yourself to New Smyrna and your family here and buy your dress and everything, and your caterer, and for the food, and everything else is done. You walk in, get married, leave, boom, no stress, it's all planned, it's all done. And that
There's
is
a lot of married people right now going, really? Where was this?
Right.
My gosh, people, come on.
Right. So we have, set up this package to where the wedding wedding happens here within a 65 to 70 person, and we provide the space, and Steve with Paradise Beach Wedding provides pretty much everything for you. Like I said, you don't really have to call anybody else, but right here. And I'll let him explain a little bit more too. We both have the package to where if you reach out to myself or Steve, we can both help you with anything on that package.
Yeah, the part that you spoke to before we jump into this package you put together is the New Smyrna Beach experience, right? And part of what we're doing marketing here with Springhill Suites is getting that experience out there. Again, being a Florida native, good luck finding an authentic, real small beach town. And this is one of the last ones left, if there's any, right? That especially that has a white sandy beach next to it. I mean, good luck finding that. And so that experience you get here, not only with the groups you've put together that can pull weddings together that are the best in the business around here, you also get, like you said, that walk on Flagler, you get paddleboarding, you get so many things put together with the affiliates of Springhill Suites Marriott here, that it makes it probably one of the best weddings, I say, that you could really have coming here to this beach to do it.
I mean, we're going to say yes because we're biased, but it's absolutely true. And the amount of people that echo that exact same sentiment once they've had the experience is in the high percentiles, It is a special place. I'm not a Florida native. I lived in Orlando for 9 years. I did 2 hitches. This is my second hitch in Florida. And I've been here, it'll be 7.5 years now in New Smyrna area. And we have 2 downtowns. I mean, it's just the most unique place. And I lived on the river for a while, so there's a river life and there's an ocean life, and they're a block and a half apart. It's just the most remarkable place. There's a lot of politics here because people want it to be like it was in 1970. I think they've done a great job keeping what's special about New Smyrna and have it still be special. So we're fortunate. We're sitting here in that situation right now.
Yeah, you're not going to find the fast food chains. You're not going to find those restaurants here on this side. They've really kept it very mom and pop on this side. So you get the authentic local restaurants owned by, Jan and Dave, right? The 2 guys that have owned it forever. They have certainly worked and had to work and /fight really hard to keep that.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do because you want the tourism dollars, right? That allows you to build more restaurants and grow, and trying to ride that wave, excuse me with the pun at the beach here, but to ride that wave down the middle to keep it kind of both and flowing, because it's both necessary.
Both are necessary. It's a little tricky, trail to walk, but I think they've done a good job.
Yeah, certainly. And like you said, Springhill filled that void here of venues to fill. I wish I could lead in this next question, right, of going, so what made you put together a simple package for weddings? I wish I sound like an idiot. Right? What made you come up with this idea, right?
I guess it was mainly, again, we were having people call us for weddings, and there were items that we just did not have to process a full wedding here. And within working with Steve on a few things already previously, it was like, well, okay, we already work well together. We both know, our business very well, and we trust each other, which that's your main thing. If you're going to refer somebody and you're putting your name out there for somebody, you want to make sure that you're putting that, on the right person. So it really was just a no-brainer. Once we kind of the idea was there, we were like, oh, let's just hurry up. And probably within a week, we had put everything together and started pushing it, and within probably 2 weeks we'd already booked the first wedding. Within 2 weeks. So, and we can pretty much just start telling, they'll call us, and if you ask them a question of, do you have your venue yet, or do you have this yet, and they say no, I can even say, well, let me just send this to you and you look at it. And when they do look at the package, they're like, oh wow, this is really, I'm in. And I'm like, yep. And that's basically how it started. So
the mastermind behind the package itself was a team effort, right? But you're the organizer of it. He said no.
No, it was Amy's idea.
Okay.
I mean, we were working with the hotel before Amy came here. But when she came here, there was a new sheriff in town.
She's a bonder. She's a real bonder, man. She brings people together. Got a magnet. You want to be around you anyway. You're fun
the
to
first few weeks or whatever, you could just see she's like, okay, I'm working 2 different locations. What's going on? I'm trying to, but then it didn't take long, and she's like, all right, we're gonna get going. We're gonna get stuff booked. We're gonna start, really doing things. So the idea was Amy's idea. We were already quoting, but everything was all over the map. Let's simplify this thing down and make it just so easy for people. So they threw it on me, and then I simply said, all right, well, I'm going to put something together, build some spreadsheets, and kind of rounded stuff down to make it nice and attractive, a little bit of a discount. And it's been just a super successful program so far.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it here just to kind of scan over it. But I mean, what you included with this was like beautiful oceanfront patios, full banquet space rentals, ceremony reception services, paradise weddings by yourself, top-notch service. Yeah, there's tons of them. Okay, I can't read all those.
It's okay.
All right, what you all need to do out there is call Springhill Suites Marriott and ask for the weddings package if you want to do it. So it's kind of just walk through kind of the setup of a beach wedding, right? Because a lot of people, even in my idea, right, it's the thought is I walk out on the sand, right, and I stand underneath a little arch and call it a day, right?
Well, the bundle with Springhill Suites is a little bit different because they have this unbelievable patio space that's elevated that overlooks the ocean. So for some people, the fact that they can come out of the elevator, walk out the front door, and walk into their wedding, even if it's the busiest Saturday at 2 p.m., this happens to be an incredibly busy area of the beach, okay, by Flagler Avenue.
Yeah.
But they don't feel that. They have their own private little walled-up space with the ocean in the backdrop. And so for some people, that's really, really desirable. We do have joint clients that do want a beach wedding, and then they'll come use the banquet room. That's fine, too. We'll make that part of the bundle. But for the most part, we're showing photos and a portfolio of, look how awesome it is up here on the patio and how private this is. So that's really what the focus of the bundle is. So what we did is we came in, we said, all right, we'll offer 2 different arches to choose from, different chairs to choose from. We'll put a nice runner down there. We'll decorate the location. You get...
These pictures look, yes, I would get married there.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You get music, so you get up to 12 songs of music, and you get an hour of professional photography, and that's all self-contained in the wedding side. And I love breaking it into 2 pieces, the wedding side and the reception side. All of the phone calls, all the planning is all included in the bundle. Okay, so on the wedding, there's really... That's
worth it right there. That's it. That's it.
There's nothing you really need. I mean, there are options you can add, but the basic essentials, the officiant who's going to marry you, that's included. So all of it is there, okay? On the reception side, you've got this wonderful banquet room with a patio, with a pergola, which can be used. We do a lot of cocktail tables out there, okay? We've had dance floors out there. We've had the bar out there. So it has a lot of flexibility based on your time of year and things like that. But we give you the full planning for the reception. That's included in the bundle. We provide what we call, Amy and I were just talking about this, an attendant. So you'll have a physical person there for the whole duration of your reception, one of our staff. And their job is just to make sure everything's going good. They're cleaning up. They're making sure the room's tidy because you transition from, toast to food to cake, and then it's party time. So you want to make sure the room looks nice. So that person's included as well. Linens, centerpieces, even uplights. It's a beautiful room, but it's also a rather conservative corporate-looking room. So we throw some color up on the walls and the ceiling. What am I forgetting? I think that's the basic turnkey thing that you get on the reception side. And then if you want to add a dance floor, you add a dance floor. If you want us to book a DJ, we're going to book a DJ. Sometimes people just want a playlist in there, so you have a lot of flexibility in what you want to do with that as well. Oh, I'm sorry. Cake table. We actually have our own cake tables here permanently.
I can see you going down the punch list of a wedding planner right now.
Yeah.
Cake table and sweetheart table too, as well.
Yeah,
and the decor for that. So all that is included. And so I might as well just say it's $3,000 plus tax for our part of the bundle, meaning all the stuff I just told you about, the wedding, the reception, $3,000.
That's it?
Our side of it, Amy's side.
And then on my side is, it's $1,000 for my side, so it makes the total bundle $4,000 to get married.
At the beach?
Right,
at the beach.
Oceanfront.
Yeah.
Oceanfront.
Yeah, not just at the, right, oceanfront on the beach in New Smyrna Beach, White Sands Beach,
Right.
too, not Cocoa. White Sands Beach, just threw that out there.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's brown sand over there,
okay
okay?
with
Right, right.
It's brown, grainy sand. This is white. It squeaks when you walk on it, okay? So, yeah, all of that.
Yeah, and the wonderful thing too, I know he was focusing on the patio and just as if on a female side of it. The best thing about that is the shoes, because us women, we love
Facts.
our shoes, and you cannot walk out onto the beach with a high heel. You
true.
cannot. But guess what you can do on the oceanfront patio? You can wear your heels.
Still
all
have
the
a
way out
beach
there.
wedding in
Yes.
the heels.
In the heels.
Is this written in the package somewhere?
I know it needs to
That
be.
needs
We
to
need
be
to add
added.
it.
I
We
think
need
you
to add
should.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you need to add that.
Yeah.
Heels available to be worn during the wedding. I think that's it.
I
That
think
would-
rental heels too. I mean,
Yeah.
just make it
Yeah.
turnkey. you know.
Turnkey,
It's like a
completely just
bowling
show
alley.
up, put the stuff on and go on.
right. Open up a dress shop too. Might
There
as
you
well
go.
keep going.
That's needed.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. There's not one
It's
here.
Not one here.
There's not one here. But that's the wonderful thing about our group that we did form is we do know like where we can send you for a dress, and we do know where we can send you for your catering and the other items that is needed. So again, it's still, you just let us know what you need and we can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, one call wedding setup shop at Springhill Suites, New Smyrna Beach with Paradise Beach Weddings. I'm going to make a little left personal turn. Probably two questions, right? What and why? Probably why. Why do you like doing weddings? And that same question to you, Amy, too, after Steve.
I like it because I am serving families. It's the greatest majority of them. They are incredibly special moments when, and sometimes you're just so blessed to literally be in the presence of what's happening. A lot of families coming together. I have 5 kids of my own. We had a blended family, so those tend to choke me up a little bit when I see these families coming together. And I'm working at the beach. Like, I have to tell this quick story. I had a roommate when I was a really young man, and he came home one day, and he was a drifter. Like, he just didn't know what he was doing. He goes, "I've joined the Army." And I said, "That is awesome, dude." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, I went to the recruiting station, and I told him I want to be a photographer. I want to do photography in Hawaii. And they're telling me, yeah, we're going to get you that. So he signs up. Guess what his first job was? Radar watch in Alaska, baby.
Oh.
So
Right.
the dream is to be a photographer in Hawaii. Guess what? We have that dream. We're wedding planners at the beach in New Smyrna Beach. This is our job. That's my second office is the beach. So that's a really, really cool thing.
Yeah, Amy, to you.
So to us, I mean, who doesn't love love? So, the weddings, when you see the brides walking out and they're walking over, people just stop. Like, even the guests here at the hotel, they'll just stop and watch them walk by and watch the
Get
wedding.
all the clamped.
Right, get
Yeah.
all the clamped up. And then, we had one bride that I had went up to check on her in her room, and she was sitting there. She was in one of our oceanfront rooms, and we actually have pictures. It's gorgeous. It's on our Facebook page. But she's sitting there in the window, and the sun's coming in, and she's getting her makeup done, and she's all in her wedding dress, and it's just beautiful. I mean, how could you not enjoy that day? Like, that's what I'm here for. That's what I've done, is this beautiful day for you. So how could that not make you happy?
Oh, I got all teary eyes right now. Just listen to you two right now. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
Patricia, he's gonna
Easy. Easy, Amy. So I didn't even really want to curb it this way in the show, but right, there's going to be people that watch this that say, but what about COVID, right? What about COVID? What is it, to you, Steve, what has it done to the industry? Do you see it coming back, the wedding planning industry? Where's it at in its comeback? It's going to come back, right? People are going to get married, but
Right.
Where's it at, or how's it affected the industry?
Well, any events business, hotels. I was talking to someone the other day that said, "Can you imagine just being a cruise liner right now? Like, just nobody wants to get on a cruise ship for a long time." We're a lot more fortunate than that, and plus, most of the stuff that we do for a wedding itself is outside, which everybody believes is a much safer and better place and healthy place to be. So for someone like us, yes, we're doing indoor receptions and we're following the rules, and especially here, there's, corporate wise, they're going to do exactly what's supposed to be done. But, it had a devastating effect for any event company. We were 65 days between work. So that's unbelievable. And in that 65 days, I was talking to Amy. You were either talking to crying brides who are devastated, either canceling, rescheduling. Every call was like just trying to keep the water out of the boat. Now the good news is this. As Amy said earlier in our private discussion, thank God it didn't turn out to be as catastrophic as it could have. We're especially in the state of Florida, we're doing incredibly well right now. We have done 4 events since we were able to restart as a company, so that's promising.
It's that heartbeat. Beep. It's coming
Yes.
back. Yeah.
But even more important than those 4 events is the activity level that people are talking and planning and want to get married. And there's a lot of activity, a lot of renewals, vow renewals we're getting requests for right now. So it's a combination of we waited through COVID. They would have done something, but they waited. And then the natural business of this year is happening. So we're very encouraged by the activity. We will have probably a 50% summer for us, June, July, August, compared to previous years. But that's okay, because what we see after that is a lot of increased bookings and activities. And we can handle that. We're encouraged by that right now, very much so.
Yeah, that's the news somebody needs to report, that because all I'm hearing about is people being divorced from COVID. It's all on the rise, all this other stuff. But as you, as a wedding planner in this business, you did say that earlier before we came on the show,
Yes.
That you've seen a rise in vow renewals.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, let's say some positive news. That people need to know that too. That even through being quarantined together, people realize that they're still in love and want to and reaffirm that. I think that's beautiful news.
Yeah. What I said earlier was it's so many things out of our control. One of the things you can control is your commitment to someone else. Wanting to spend your life with them, or look, we've been through it all, 25, 50 years. Let's just reaffirm everything, because we can control that.
Yeah, and I think the positive that was brought out of this is it makes you see what's important in your life, instead of, I've got to be at work by 8 and I've got to be home by this and I have to do this and I'm running and I'm not paying attention to what's going on with me. This really made everybody stop and pay attention. And the best thing, out of that on the wedding side that it made it pay attention to is who you really wanted to be with. So
I thought you were going to say who you really want at your wedding.
That too, who you really want at your wedding, because but anyway, it made you realize, what you really wanted out of life and how to get there, and that we want stress-free items and that we don't want to have to, struggle for things. And that's one beautiful thing, with this, even before this happened, the reason why we set this up is to really streamline this and make it stress-free, because there's so many brides that's on the day of their wedding that are not enjoying their wedding due to the stress of the wedding. So that was really our main focus, was to try and take some of the stress away, make this a just show up, get married, enjoy your day and enjoy your family, and just, not have to worry about, hey, is this happening or who's doing this? It's done for you. Just come in and make your day perfect.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
One of the other interesting things that has fallen out of COVID, and again, I'm a half glass full guy, so I always think this way, is that, and we're hearing a lot of this on our calls every day, is a couple had a wedding schedule, just like the huge amount we had in April, May, June, that were either rescheduled or canceled, and they got canceled. And then they planned something again, and that got canceled. So what we're hearing a lot is, all right, let's simplify this. Let's go have a ceremony in New Smyrna Beach or somewhere in Florida. And what we have for them is absolutely perfect. So if you're from the north and you're going to have 300 people in your wedding and you got canceled twice, you're going to scale that thing down and say, I need 50, 40 people down in Florida to do a destination wedding. And then we have the perfect solution for that. So we're hearing many stories like this.
Yeah. The social reconnection, right? It's part of the campaign we're doing here, right? Protecting, reconnecting. And if anybody watching wants to hear about how Springhill Suites is protecting, you can go back and watch episode 1 of this. We covered a lot about the protecting part. But this episode, I think it was more about focusing on the reconnection. and like the wedding renewals, right, or vow renewals, right? This is reconnecting. I do think that, as you said, what people have found out what's important, have found out how much socializing is important, being with family, the ones you love, the events that we do. I personally think the events business, as we come out of this and climb out of this, I mean, in Italy, it's basically gone now, and they were one of the worst hit areas, and it's gone. It's almost, it's not even existent anymore. That if we can come to that point, I think the events business is going to double what it's ever been. I think because people are going to realize how much they missed it and how much they want to do that and connect with other people. And I hope to see that. I really believe that's going to happen. And I think weddings are the basic start for, right? That starts families, that starts reconnecting and connecting families.
I hope you're right. That would be awesome. We'll take a doubling. I agree with you, and I think even more so, the idea, how long will the half-life be in our brain that these going to huge sporting events is a little bit scary, or going to a rock concert is a little scary, maybe we should just throw something in the backyard and get you know what I mean? I hope that's going to occur, and I think there'll be a natural period of that. We're still waiting on the party and event rental side to show any life. It's still early for that. Graduation season is upon us, and most graduations have been either canceled or pushed into a later time of year. Yeah. So we'll see if there's a revival of, hey, I want 75 people in my backyard. Or for our case, when do our business clients want to come back here and do business events with 50, 60, 70 people, either both here in the banquet room, out on the beach, or whatever, So I hope you're right. I think that would be amazing, a 50% or a doubling of that demand.
Right now, no one spent money.
So they're just saving money.
Yeah, so a lot of ad budgets are bundled up, and marketing budgets have been stopped, really.
For sure.
So there's a lot of sponsorship money. So I think businesses are they're going to have to come out the gate swinging anyway, because they want to advertise their business. I've often said that the first back to market right now is going to win that space, a lot of empty space. So I think we're going to come out of this, and I mean, we're resilient in this country, and I think we can get through this, come out on the other side of all this, and generally, destruction breeds creation, and as we come through the darkness like this, I think we may find something brighter on the other side.
Oh yeah,
I think so. I think it's the American spirit, and this year, if this country gets through the first 6 months, we're gonna be all right.
We're living in a movie right now, man.
It's just amazing. It's like, what's the next? Truly, I said before, asteroid, that wouldn't shock me at all. No, not at all.
Like level 7 of Jumanji.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Yeah, we're moving up right now.
Exactly.
Just get me home. Just get me home.
Yeah.
Steve, give the Paradise Weddings pitch, because it's not just wedding planner. You do a lot more than that.
Yeah, he also does decorating for our corporate events. So anything of your corporate events that you need decorations for, your tables, holiday parties, or say the one other amazing thing is the dinner on the beach. So he has tables and things that he can set up to make it real cool. You can take your corporate event out and have dinner on the beach. But I'll let him tell you some more.
Well, we did launch a second company in January of this year called Paradise Event Rentals. It's a sister company, and it really grew out of the fact that as a planner, we really wanted to own all of our own inventory. Sometimes you have to rent things because you only need it once. You're not going to go buy that expensive thing. But when you start doing the same thing over and over, so let's invest in chairs and tables that we keep needing so that we're self-sufficient. And if we run into a bind on a Saturday, guess what? It's sitting in our warehouse. So that's a really important thing to do. And then I realized after 5 years that here we are sitting with this enormous inventory that we're using for our wedding events, but why not rent it out to any event, right? And of course, here at the Springhill Suites, it's a natural partnership because we're already working here. So there's so much corporate activity here that, yes, let's also serve those clients as well. So Amy and I spoke about this long before the company was even started. And I said, I'm doing it. It's coming. And boom, January 1st, we launched. So yeah, you want to have a wonderful corporate event. We impress your international partners and clients, throw up a tent out on the beach, put some Edison lighting in there, get some live music out there, have dinner. Basically, the event rental company can do all of that. Another thing, and hopefully someone will see this podcast that doesn't know this, We are the only vendor in Volusia County who will set up a commercial tent on the sand. No one else would do it. 100% deny it. It's difficult. You've got tide issues. You've got wind issues. There's anchoring. How you do anchoring in sand. You're not going to really pound the stakes in too much. So there's a lot of those issues. So unless you have you're specialized in knowing how to do that sort of tent, most of them are like, there's too much liability. It's too scary. And there certainly would be days where we wouldn't set the tent up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for the most part, in the summertime, planned properly, we can do that. So as a party and event rental company, we're a coastal company, and we really like to focus on Southeast Volusia because there's plenty of vendors in Daytona and up in that area. So again, back to this kind of let's take care of New Smyrna Beach and the surrounding areas. Our marketing for that company is focused on that, okay? If someone calls me from St. Augustine and it's a large enough job, sure, we'll go to St. Augustine. But really, we're trying to do business in Southeast Volusia. And because there is no other vendor here, we are it.
All right, well, I'm glad you said it, because I can see somebody wanting that tent and then makes a couple phone calls and everybody's like, nope.
We did it when we started. We couldn't get anyone, and they still don't, unless they see this podcast and they change their marketing strategy.
There you go.
But
Give them ideas.
They don't.
So how can people get a hold of you, Steve?
Well, they can reach us at paradisebeachweddings.net. Our phone number is at the very top of the website. That's the wedding planning company. You can reach us at paradiseeventrentals.net. That's the event rental company, but you can get to either from both of those sites, so that's not a problem. Do you want me to give a phone number? Do people put phone numbers on podcasts?
That's on you. Yeah, of course.
Okay, well,
sure.
Paradise Beach Weddings is 386-401-9698. I would do either of those. If you want to email us, you can get a email form off of either of those websites. One of the things we like to pride ourselves in is rapid response to any inquiry or phone call. For the most part, if I take more than 15 minutes, I'm upset with myself. Now, there are times when I'll be marrying people on the beach and I'm out at a 3 or 4 hour job. So there's a good chance I'm not going to take your call in the middle of the vows. But over, that's,
that would be funny though.
With it though, hang on, I got a new client.
It's like, hold please.
Yeah, you'll understand. It's another opportunity. But no, for the most part, this is what I do. My staff, well, primarily me, and most of our staff are subcontractor staff. I joke about it. I say it's 363 days a year because I won't work on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day. I want to be with my family. But if you want to fly me to the islands, we can negotiate price. I will consider it. But other than that, that's the demand that I put on myself. Is 363.
Man, working 24 and always working 24/7. Amy here at Springhill Suites Marriott. How do they get a hold of you so they can buy this special package that they have here?
So yes, they would most definitely just call into Springhill Suites here, and they would ask for myself, Amy Childs, or Laura Pizzo is my wonderful sales manager here that also helps out with the wedding reservations and all the above. And then we also have Miss Erin, who is our front desk supervisor. They can also help put you in contact with who you need to speak with.
Yeah, reach out. Springhill Suites Marriott, New Smyrna Beach. Have the best small beach town wedding there is on the planet, and you get to wear heels.
Heels. Heels. Amazing dresses that don't get dirty in the sand. It's not going to get wet because you're not walking on the sand, but you still have the beautiful view.
And by the way, when you're done up here in the patio, get yourself down on the beach and get all those oceanfront photos with your photographer. Happens every single time. So you're still going to get your, if you want to get your dress wet, you still can trash your dress. And you can still get all those beautiful photos on the beach. So you have it all.
Seriously, right? Yeah, see, you keep coming up with another bullet list thing. And I'm like, I didn't even think about that. The photos after, right down there. This is the place you want to do it. What I ask everybody at the end of every podcast, because podcast remorse is a thing, that it really is a thing, that there's something you meant to say, you forgot to say, and you snap your fingers afterwards and go, darn it, I forgot I meant to say that. So it's just a moment to just kind of reflect and go, all right, is there anything else that we wanted to get to that you made sure you wanted to say about this episode of the podcast?
I'll tell you tomorrow when I have that remorse. I'm just thankful to be invited. I mean, having my own podcast, I mentioned I haven't touched it in a year because it's hard to
You will now.
have two companies and do everything. There's no excuse for it. It's just
Do you still have episodes up though?
oh yeah.
Well, tell people where they can listen to those.
Okay, well anywhere. So definitely iTunes, definitely Google,
The name of it.
Play Store. It's called The Beach Wedding Show. And there's 8 episodes up, and it's got really the fundamentals of talking through, should I do a beach wedding? What does it cost? What's a reception cost? And what's an officiant? All these things. So it's all up there. It's very good.
That's great
important
information.
Yeah, right now. I'd love to get really active. I'd love to start doing like the post-corona shows. I think that would be an excellent way to start. So, but I just want to thank you both for inviting me here and being able to talk about it. We're just so lucky that Amy decided to move to New Smyrna, and as a partner, she is just really seriously second to none. She's been a huge part of our success last year because the bundle was so successful and we had phenomenal events here, so I'm just grateful for that. Seriously.
Oh, that's great. And Steve?
Okay.
Amy?
So I don't think that I haven't, touched on anything. Again, I'll probably say something tomorrow like, oh, man.
We got 30 more episodes.
We got 30 more episodes. We can touch on it then. But same thing, I just want to say thank you to Steve and thank you to everybody, that'll come on the next episode and we're on the previous ones. Because, again, some of the ideas that I have, I would not be able to put into full force without, you. So, yeah, this, was an idea that popped into my head, but we wouldn't have been able to make it happen, without you and without the great vendors that we're in front of. So, again, I just want to thank everybody. New Smyrna has been a blessing, and that's just nothing that you can beat. So come get married here, too, and just make it your blessing also.
Oh, I love it.
There we go.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. Steve, thanks for being on the Reconnecting podcast here.
Thank you so much.
Amy, my co-host as always, thank you. It's been fun. For all of you, again, go to Springhill Suites Marriott, New Smyrna Beach. It is the best, I promise you, the best beach wedding that you can possibly have. Look up Paradise Beach Weddings as well for any rentals, party rentals, beach planning, and all. And please check out his podcast as well. And Steve, again, thanks for being here, man. A lot of great information out there. Thank you all for listening again to the Reconnecting podcast. I'm your host, Adam Lowry. As always, we will see you next week.